boys basketball takes center court. We will assist you with all the details. We will bring you the best as the guys march to state. So celebrate with us as Coach O does some celebrating of his own. It was a crowded gym, just like the studio tonight. Sports Night is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sports Night. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Shapiro. Joe, I couldn't be more excited for this show tonight. It's all about boys basketball. Very exciting.
As it should be. The boys basketball team clinching a section championship for the first time in 41 years. And you alluded to it in the intro. It is a crowded studio, but very happily so. We're happy to have the boys basketball team here. The 2024 Section 7 4A boys basketball champions will be at the Target Center on Wednesday representing Coon Rapids. But Howie, we knew going in, it's so much fun that it's the whole playoff run has been so much fun and so much. It's so glad I could be a part of it.
You know, it really is. And you know, when this section started, I mean, I know I talked to Coach O about it. This is a winnable section, and obviously it came to fruition. You know, the guys got the number 2 seed and went down to that 1 versus 2 in Forest Lake, and the good guys won.
Yeah. Well, we knew going into the final game that it was going to be close and it was going to be intense, but it was way more of both than we had expected. These two programs have a great rivalry, and their regular season meeting ended with a 2-point Forest Lake win in overtime. So it was anybody's game from the start, and everyone knew that only one team could be left standing at the end. The Rangers got the faster start, but the Cardinals battled their way back in. Connor Jordan goes to the floor for this one, feeds Tony Belpedio for the bucket. The game was tied at 6, but the Rangers' big man untied it quickly. Owen Waldock's three-pointer put Forest Lake right back in front. Waldock was a menace in this contest, especially down low, out-battling a couple of Cardinals for this basket, plus he picks up the foul. He had a game-high 26 points. But the Rangers never able to open the lead more than 5 points, and the Cardinals always had an answer. Connor Jordan, big three-pointer that evened the score at 18. Jordan had 9 points, 5 assists. Then it's Jackson Young hitting from way beyond the arc. That gave the Cardinals their first lead with 10:45 to go in the first. But it was back and forth throughout. There were 7 ties and 8 lead changes in the first half. Brendan Savageau had 11 of his 13 in the first half for the Rangers. Four of the lead changes took place in the final minute. Young's spinning basket put the Cardinals up 1, but they went to the locker room down 40-39. Scoring pace a little slower in the second. The Cardinals able to swing some momentum in their favor. Parker Stoll's three-pointer tied the game at 42. One of the great things about this team is any guy can step up at any time. And in the final, it was Kenny Jones. He hits a little floater in the lane, part of a 12-2 run for Coon Rapids. Jackson Young led the Cardinals with 20 points. This three-pointer off the inbound put the Cards up by 8 with 10 minutes to go. Rangers answer with a run of their own, though. Owen Waldock's three-pointer, part of an 11-3 run. And Forest Lake had a lead at 55-54. But come clutch time, it's the Cardinals that grab momentum. Kenny Jones, a little hook shot in the lane. That put Coon Rapids back in front by 3, and Kenny was just getting started. Young forces the defense deep. Jones pops to the top of the key, hits a huge three-pointer, 61-57, less than 3 minutes to go. Jones was clearly feeling it, and his teammates knew it. They feed him again, and he delivers another huge 3. He had 15 off the bench, 13 of them in the second half. Game goes down to the final second. Cards up 3 with Freeman at the line. He misses, but he's able to track down the long rebound, and he dribbles to the buzzer, and the Cardinals are celebrating the end to a very, very long drought. Their first state tournament appearance in 41 years, only the second in school history.
You know, I just got over the excitement of that game, and now it's all back again. It was so much fun. It was, you know, from start to finish, back and forth, nip and tuck, and obviously the Cardinals did such a really good job of controlling some things, especially in that second half. I mean, down by a point, but I thought they did a really good job stepping up, obviously, and they got the win.
Well, and to me, the exciting, or I don't know how to word it exactly, but we've been doing this so long, and we've seen so many great contests. But a couple of the games during this section run have had us back and forth texting like, what did we really just see what we just saw? And this was another one. So many lead changes back and forth in that first half. Young gives them a lead with like 7 seconds left in the half. Forest Lake goes down and scores before the buzzer. But at the end, the Cardinals able to hold on.
Well, and you talked about that next man up mentality, and kudos to Kenny Jones coming off the bench and scoring 15 points, really leading the way, not just offensively, but I thought doing a good job on the boards, doing a really nice job defensively, and just being a thorn in the Rangers' side all night long.
Yeah, well, we could go on and on about the game, but more importantly, what lies ahead. A trip to the state tournament. They'll be the final of the quarterfinals in Class 4A on Wednesday at Target Center, and they will take on number 3 seed Minnetonka. It's such a great honor to look at them up there with those teams, and you look at the Wyzettas and the Park Centers. I'm glad to not see either of those two in the first round. Possibly the best Cardinal poll, knowing, of course, coming out as the 2nd seed in their section, they would most likely be one of those unseeded teams. So Minnetonka may be their best draw, but a definite huge challenge, and it should be very, very exciting. And without wasting any further ado, let's talk to these boys. First of all, congratulations to all of you, and thank you all for coming in. We're fortunate enough to have Coaches Slingsong and Carver holding the microphones and helping us. We want to make sure that we get everybody's take. And first, Sam, I'm going to ask you, because you have the microphone in your hand. You are a Cardinal alum, obviously. When you hit that game-winning shot against Anoka 7 years ago to the day from this year's semifinal, did you know that was the start of something special and all the playoff success this program would have in the coming years?
Well, obviously not, but we talked at the end of the championship game, and if you go back and watch it, even though I've watched it probably 1,000 times, but there's cuts to the crowds and all that, and majority of the kids on this team are in the crowd that night, being able to watch that special moment. So obviously, no, I did not think that would spark a continuous winning in the playoffs and stuff. But I'm very proud of this group. I love each one of these dudes. They're great, great kids, and I'm very excited for the state tournament.
I'm just going to ask you one quick thing, and then I'm going to ask one of the guys. So I posted that picture of you and I with that embrace at the end of the game, and your mom hadn't seen it before. I don't know if you noticed that quote on Facebook. She was so excited about it. She said, I have never seen this picture. I said, it's one of my favorite moments of all time in Cardinal sports, because it was just that emotion in that gym at the time.
Yeah, obviously it was a great moment. I'm kind of live it up a little too much than normally someone would, but I just think back to where we were when I played, and obviously we struggled the first couple years, and then that senior year was so special. We won a lot of games, we saw a lot of success, and just the continuation of just the success throughout the years and now building up to this great season that we've had has just been super special to be on this side of being able to coach them, because back then I didn't see all the work that Schumann, Agoric, and Schlinn put into this program. And, these guys have been here for 11 years. 11 years through the tough times, through the good times, and, they deserve all the credit that they possibly can get. And it's super special to be able to share this journey with them, and as well as all these other kids.
Well, and that was a great transition, because you talked about it. I started that because in your guys' more recent memory, the Cardinals have had some success. So in the last 5 years, this program is now 7-5 in the playoffs. They have a winning record over the last 5 seasons. That was something that before that time really hadn't happened. Now we've got a group of great seniors here. You guys can pick which of the seniors to answer it, but what's it like knowing that this journey, you guys have been together on this journey for so long, and here you are getting to the state tournament?
For me, growing up, always seeing Coon Rapids lose at things, it feels amazing. Even being on the team and losing, especially last year's season itself, it was a really bad season we had. But going into it and finally trusting all the guys, trusting the coaches, trusting the system, and seeing it all work out it's an amazing feeling.
So my first question is to Tony Lapideo. Tony, I wanted to have you on during the regular season or during the playoffs. Didn't get a chance to, unfortunately. But Coach always preaches. You guys can light up the lamp, but Coach always preaches defense. What impresses me the most about you, you're not a 20-point-a-night scorer, but you're probably maybe one of the guys that hustles the most on the court. You play really solid defense, and you never let up. Talk a little bit about what you guys do to your defense and what Coach talks to you about how you guys play solid defense, because I was totally impressed.
Yeah, so at practice, we practice a lot of defense because, last year we were the worst defensive team in the Northwest Suburban, I'm pretty sure. So he really pushed us this year and getting better at defense, and I think it showed because, we're on top now.
Jackson Hetwer, I didn't get to show, you had 2 huge buckets toward the end of that first half. They didn't make it into the highlight, but it was a bucket to tie and a bucket to take the lead. How big is it to be ready as part of this group, just knowing you don't know when you're going to get on the floor, and be ready to take that shot when it's yours?
It's huge. It was a really tight battle. I think my 3 got us to tie the game, and I don't know, I guess just always being warm, just always staying loose. I think Coach O has pretty much given me the green light since sophomore year, and I just know, any type of space, I'm open, I'm going to take it, and I know Coach will be fine with it.
Kenny, your mentality coming off the bench. You didn't get as many minutes probably as you wanted or liked maybe towards in this section, but the fact that you took over and you stepped up when you needed to step up. Talk a little bit about how you stay active and you stay in the game and coming off the bench and really the start of the game.
Well, one thing Coach always says is always stay ready. You never know when your number's going to be called, so just stay ready. And then my number got called at the end of the first half, and I got a quick basket, and I was loose. And then come the second half, I go in early, and then I just never looked back after that.
Obviously, a lot of excitement around the win on Saturday. You had a little time to decompress on Thursday. You've had some time to decompress about that. How hard is it going to be for you guys to sleep, not only tonight, but tomorrow night, knowing that you're going to be taking the floor at the Target Center for a state tournament game?
No, this feeling is still unreal, and it's to a point where I'm not going to say moved on, but I'm still on cloud 9 about winning the section, and but I'm to the point where we've had 2 practices now, and I think we're ready to move on, and we're ready to play Minnetonka on Wednesday.
Parker, again, you've had an opportunity. You dealt with a little bit of injury issues, and you've had an opportunity to work yourself into the starting lineup. Talk about your effort on the court. I think you're another one of those guys that plays a solid defense. You can hit from the perimeter. Talk a little bit about what you feel your role is and what you bring to this team.
So for my role, I feel like I'm there to facilitate my team and help everybody get action on the ball. So we don't have to have people dribbling up, and I allow Jerry and Jackson Young to really take over how they need to. And then it's just that relentless work and me trusting my teammates is what really driving me to push and be how I am and play.
What, from a coach's perspective, Schlinsock, since we haven't gotten your take, what, from a coach's perspective, is different about this team that helped them get over the hump that they weren't able to get over the last couple of chances they've had?
The big thing you see with this team is kind of the same thing you saw when Sam's team was around. It's the idea that this is a group of guys who trust each other. This is a group of guys who, as Coach loves to say, has been battle tested. They're ready for war. They're ready to do the things that need to be done to get wins and to, when the losses come, to take care of each other and move on. The old 8-second, 8-hour, rule is when the moment their feet hit the ground, they're ready to go the next day, and these guys are building each other up. Practices, as Tony said, they're grueling. These guys get after each other, but afterwards they're walking down the halls, loving each other up, and that's something that's big and kind of culture changing when you see it.
Well, we'd be remiss if we didn't give a shout out to Jerry Freeman, who's unfortunately is a little under the weather. He's at home and he couldn't make it, but what a huge contributor he is to this program. And I'll kind of bring my question over to Jackson Young and talk about obviously Your role on the team, obviously, is the scorer. I mean, you are a scorer. You're a leader, quite obviously. You do get in a rhythm. Talk about that rhythm, because I mean, when you feel it like that, we showed in the highlights that 3 from way outside. You can tell you have a shooter's mentality, and you feel it. Talk a little bit about your mindset when you start getting in that role.
Yeah, I mean, the game is all about rhythm. You kind of have to get into like that mode, especially from the start of the game. So you know, like if you get your first bucket from the start of the game, that gives you a little bit of confidence, and it like relaxes you a little bit. So I think like just trying to get into that rhythm every single game, knowing that like after missing one shot, it's not like the end of the world. You just got to move on and then make the next shot. And then by the second half, the start of the first half, I really just found that rhythm really early, and just kept on rolling with that. And then in the second half, Forrest Lake took me away. So then Kenny got into his rhythm, and then we got other people just getting into their rhythm. And then once you find that, you just roll with it. That's what I love about this team.
Tegan Plowman-Tate, who we dubbed TPT. Are we good with the nickname? Is TPT good?
Yeah.
Okay. You're another one of those guys. Same kind of question I had for Jackson Hetwer. How big is it to be ready and be knowing that, you know, every guy, it seems every guy's had a different night that has been their night to shine. What's it like trying to stay ready?
You know, you just got to keep a mindset that your number could be called at any time. I know how much work I put in and other people on the team put in outside of like team practices and stuff. So we're ready, and we're just ready for Coach O to call our number. Coach O.
So we got to get a little bit of a serious take. Minnetonka on Wednesday. How much do you know about them, and what does the group of guys you're sitting with have to do to pull off the upset?
I'm gonna be a politician. I'm gonna enter one thing first. I want to give a lot of love here to our JV guys, in particular my dude right next to me, Jeremy Adi. You know, the success we've had this year. Okay, our JV team hasn't played now in 3 weeks. They show up every day. They work their tails off at practice. They give us great looks. They tick us off. Some days I maybe have to pick up battles between my varsity starters and us. But just mad props to the Gray Boys, as we call them.
Well, to further on your political view, I'll tell you right now, Jeremy Adi and Connor Young are my 2 favorite players on your squad. Only guys I can see eye to eye with.
Okay, so Minnetonka.
Now Minnetonka.
Yeah, on the Minnetonka. We know they're a really good team. You know, you're not the third-ranked team at state unless you're really solid. They're a team that's going to really attack us defensively. They really like to get out in the open court a little bit. They like to press you a little bit. They like to take you out of rhythm. They like to make you uncomfortable, and they like to sort of wear you down. You know, conversely, we feel like we're that kind of team. Like in Section 7-4A, for example, we're the kind of team that wears people down. So we know that's going to be a challenge for us, but we also feel like our style of play is going to be unique for them. Like we run a style of, you know, especially on our defensive side, that they're not used to. So, you know, very good team, very talented team, but, you know, we've been pounding the message to these guys, you know, hey, we got to take care of the ball. Minnetonka's going to try to do these things. Here's how we counter. Can we take care of the ball, and can we be solid on the defensive end? If we could do those things, we like our chances here.
Coach Schumann.
Oh, yeah.
So,
microphones from every angle.
Just use them both.
Coach O'Gorik's been fearing for 11 years here, but here I am, boys.
Sure
Who's better than me?
Are you sure you don't want to put a mic in both hands, just you can kind of like you're in the weight room?
I don't know how the people would perceive that on television here, guys.
So, I'm gonna presume something. So I've never had the opportunity to sit in one of your team meetings. I would assume that maybe you're the voice of reason, and I'm assuming that sometimes that you have to maybe take Coach O aside and say, "Listen, maybe give him a different view." Talk a little bit about yours and Mike's relationship, because I know it's very special. I know you guys have a heck of a bond. Talk about how you guys interact when you're game planning.
Have you ever seen Everybody Loves Raymond?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, the #1 syndicated show. That's kind of how we are. You know, we come in the house, we argue with each other about, you know, something laying on the floor. Could be something that happened during the day. It's an up and down relationship. We can't wait till the season is over so we can love each other again, you know. We argue about everything and anything, and I think that's what makes us a great team. If I agreed with everything that O had to say, I don't think that we would be where we are. but he has also given me the autonomy to sort of stretch concepts and come up with my own things, break down film, draw diagrams on film, which I know he hates. But I think that has really helped us grow, and kudos to him. He does not like to relinquish the duties. I'll say that. He is not a delegator, and it's not easy for him to let some of that stuff go, some really important stuff. So I have to thank him for that, certainly.
All right, I want to thank all of you guys for coming in. It's such a great group effort that we have witnessed all season long, and we want to thank all of you for and congratulate you. What else you got?
Can I give a shout out?
You can, absolutely.
Shout out to all my people in 184. Nasser Mustafa, Devin Joseph, Lima Pacha. They're my people here. I know they're going to love this. I know they're faithful viewers. Miss Beekman and Connor Dennis, you guys are number one in my heart here.
I love it. I love it.
All right.
I tell you, if we need a sub, you're coming in and doing the show with us. If
now
we need somebody.
Now that Shoe's got his shout out in, I want to thank all of you guys for coming in and joining us and being a part of this. And thanks for taking us along on your journey. We're excited that we're going to be there for you on Wednesday afternoon at the Target Center. We hope everybody will fill the Target Center with Cardinal Red. It doesn't happen that often. The first trip to state in 41 seasons. Game time is 4 o'clock at Target Center, and we're hoping to be at Williams Arena on Friday. But that's going to do it for this edition of Sportsnight. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.